Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. FX Daily Temporary Pause in US Dollar Decline Analysis. http ntvforex.com News ID 135D19 7/28/2020 12:30 p.m. The dollar decline stalled overnight, but we see this as a temporary pause in a structural bear trend, as the Federal Reserve is likely to remain dovish and Senate Republicans have presented plans to reduce jobless benefits by 2/3, underscoring the downside risks to the U.S. recovery. USD temporary pause in its decline. The dollar decline stalled overnight, yet there is little to suggest this is more than just a temporary pause in the currency's slide, as the FOMC is likely to retain its dovish, non-supportive bias for the dollar tomorrow. In terms of U.S. fiscal stimulus, Senate Republicans presented a $1 trillion bill which reduces jobless benefits by 2/3 from $600 to $200. It remains unclear as to when and in what form the stimulus will be passed, with a possible delay underscoring the downside risks to the U.S. economic recovery already hit by rising COVID-19 cases. Consequently, the prospects for more pronounced and longer-lasting U.S. dollar rebound appear to be limited, with the dollar remaining in a structural bear trend, in our view. Euro staying range-bound for today. We look for Euro USD to stay in the 1.17-1.18 trading range today, with the prospects of a possible dovish FOMC bias tomorrow keeping the cross supported. In Sweden, June retail sales should have a limited impact on the currency, with the krona being primarily driven by global factors. The soft USD environment and the recent positive news from the Eurozone both on the political and economic data fronts make the krona one of the standout performers in the G10 FX space. GBP still far away from the deal. Latest media reports that the UK government remains determined to support a light-touch state aid regime at odds with EU requirements on a level playing field, and in turn hampering prospects of a trade deal being agreed anytime soon, continue to underline the lack of near-term attractiveness for sterling and suggest the currency will underperform vs most of its European FX peers. We retain a negative GBP bias, with Euro GBP set to grind higher in coming weeks and GBP USD to underperform Euro USD. NZD room for more AUD NZD downside. AUD NZD has been forming a downward trend after peaking at 1.0750 last week, and we see reasons for more weakening in the pair in the short term. The Aussie dollar continues to present a larger amount of idiosyncratic risks compared to its New Zealand counterpart. The pandemic crisis in Australia continues to be quite concerning, as the lockdown in Victoria still has to successfully flatten the contagion curve. AUD is relatively more exposed to tensions with China. Australia is having a diplomatic spat with China itself and more correlated to CNY than NZD. We continue to see scope for a break below 1.0600 in AUD NZD in the short term. Read the original report FX Daily Temporary Pause in US Dollar Decline. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors.